सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। Hari Om. What exactly is a new year? New year is nothing new happening, but newness in our approach to life. Just as seasons change, just as with the movement of the sun, with the when the climate changes, so too our scriptures, our culture has given us these opportunities to look at life anew. So where there might be chances that our spirits might drain, or where there might be chances that there is a lag or slack in our approach to various opportunities in life, then the Shastra or even our culture, the traditions, what have they done? Looking at the surroundings, looking at our environment and how changes are happening in the environment, we say, okay, just as nature is changing, let us also renew our spirit towards approach to life's various opportunities. So, and therefore only there are so many festivities that come up. So we started this year with the beautiful Uttarayan or the Pongal Magh Mas that happened, and then later we recently played Holi also. The colors of spring anew came about, and now we are celebrating the New Year. So like this, in various ways, we are coloring our life so that it doesn't it doesn't cow down or bow down to whatever changes or whatever lows and highs that we go through. So when we say that, okay, I am a sadhaka, I have been in various ways doing my study, I have been doing my sadhana in various ways, how should I change my approach? Because Vedanta seems to be very dry, I am learning Vedanta, but is there some technique with which I can see its effect happening day in and day out? So this is something which most of us want to know. How do I know that I am making progress in this life? And how do I believe? Because mostly people around us, they will tell us, you are doing so much of sadhana and everything, then how come you get angry? Or how is it that you say that we should not have very many likes and dislikes? When it comes to telling children or anything, you are telling all these things, but look at you. So what is this Shastra doing to you? Or why are you believing in some old scriptures? So when this question comes about why should I believe in the old, why can't I just so much of progress is happening in terms of technology and the pace with which everything is moving, then why should we be so centered in or rooted in that which is so ancient? Why do we keep going back to that, especially people from India? So then when we see this, one thing is that this is not something which is a new question. Especially, yesterday also I was having this conversation with one of the sadhakas here, and he was saying, how do I take this knowledge to a young person, because it is very difficult to convince. So then, the whole thing was about, if I am able to live it, if I am able to see the results in my life, then those around me will also be able to see some aspect of that goodness come about. So when we think that this denial of the scriptures, or the denial of what the scriptures hold for us, this is not something new. If we see in Gurudev's time also, so many people, there is that one question which Gurudev was asked, why should I have a guru also, or why should I go to the scriptures? Can't I just get the information just like that? So then Gurudev had said that, okay, you can ask the same question to the books, or in today's day and age, you can ask that same question to the chat GPT, and let's see how many answers come from that, right? So this question about the validity of scriptures has been time immemorial, as long as the scriptures have been there also. Not only Gurudev was questioned about it, Swami Vivekananda was questioned about it. So too, in the age of Adi Shankaracharya also it was questioned. And so too, as Bhagwan Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says even in the 4th chapter, it is not something new that I am giving you, Arjuna. This has been there since the sun was seen. And that parampara, that Guru parampara has been giving this knowledge since that time. It is not something new that I am teaching you. And yet, it has, this potential to bring that newness in our attitude, or in our view, or in our perception of life as such. So where the world keeps changing, where there is so much of what one would say as so much of uncertainty in life, be it in terms of technology, be it in terms of relationships, be it in terms of our interaction, not just with people but with gadgets, etc. There is definitely a need where I want to have a firm grounding, and that firm grounding, where do I get it? I can get it from the Shastra. And who will connect me to this Shastra is the Guru, right? Is the teacher. But when will that happen? So that will only happen when I am able to question my beliefs, when I am able to question how I am looking at life in general. So, and this newness, or this this perception of life, or a change in perception of life, who can bring about? None but me can bring that about. Only when I start asking questions, when I start questioning, will this come about, right? And this is what is said to be the Shubhecha, or that Shraddha that we are looking at in our approach at various situations. So it is not that, the Shraddha is just going to come like that only. So if I have been practicing something for quite some time and then realize that I am just doing it in an automated manner, then somewhere, we will say that, is there another way of approaching the same situation, because I see a pattern and I seem to be lost in this pattern, right? I keep coming back to the same loop over and over again. Why is this happening? So only when I start looking at life not superficially, not automatedly, but try to see a greater depth in it, only then will I be able to go towards further deeper questioning and turn inward. And only when I start questioning in this manner will the grace of Bhagwan work in terms of giving me the grace of having a guru in my life. And that guru can come in various modes. Can also come through a talk that I listen to, through a book, or just a WhatsApp message that comes up. So in various ways this guru's grace comes. Now Gurudev, in one of the quotes I just read this morning, Gurudev says that there is a powerhouse within us, and yet how are we living? We are living as though there is a perpetual or permanent power failure, right? It is like we are having this entire powerhouse within us, and that is of what? That is of knowing our true nature, discovering our true nature. And yet how do we live our life? We live a very compromised life. We don't realize the depth of contentment which is lying right there within that ocean. And yet we start searching for that happiness outside of us. So when will we be able to tap into that happiness, or when will we be able to go towards that contentment? That contentment can come to us only when we search within. And that search within is required, or is going to come to us when we look deeper into our traditions, deeper into our scriptures. Why did our parents do things the way they did? Or why did our grandparents, bring in certain traditions into our households? Why do we visit temples or certain temples on certain days? And certain practices that we take up, why do we do this? So when our children question these, or when we are able to further go into the scriptural folklores and stories, then we will be able to go towards our own nature, our own identity. And for that alone, what is given to us? The way of dharmic living is given to us. So how do I live, a dharmic life? This is something which people will say. Or rather, people will only say that, today's days, there is not much of dharma. If you look around, there is not much of dharma. But if we ask people the question that, what do you mean by a dharmic lifestyle? What does it actually mean? Does it mean that I have to do certain rituals, or I have to read certain scriptures? I don't even know Sanskrit. So then that is not what is a dharmic way of life is. And this Bhagavan Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita has also told us in various ways, and also given various ways in which that yajna spirit can be brought about in our lives, not just by performing a physical ritualistic yajna, but implementing that yajna bhava in and through all that we do. So what is dharma? Dharma, as the definition of the word, or not, the root of that word dharma is dhru. Dhru as in that which is holding something very firmly. Dharayati iti dharma, it is said. And when we look at dharma, of course there are various other ways of defining dharma, but let us look at this one specific way, and that is dharayati iti dharma, that which holds very firmly, that which brings about conviction, that is dharma. So there are two aspects of dharma when it comes to an individual like you and me. One is the Vishesha Dharma and the other is Samanya Dharma. So that which is Samanya Dharma, what does Samanya Dharma mean? Does it mean ordinary? No. That is by common parlance. When we speak of Samanya in Sanskrit, it is implying in general. Okay? That which is applicable in general to all. Right? Like today is, celebrated as New Year as per the Hindu calendar. So then when we say that, then it doesn't mean that one person does not celebrate, another person celebrates. No, in that particular region, in general, like say the people of Andhra will celebrate it as Ugadi. The people of Maharashtra will celebrate it as Gudi Padwa, right? And then further, after a few days, because the calendar is slightly different, then you will have Vishu, which will be celebrated by people of Kerala or Tamil Nadu. So what happens? That is something which is like a Samanya Dharma, where it is kind of like a blanket grounding for many people. But when it comes to Vishesha Dharma, what is it? Vishesha Dharma is specifically pertaining to an individual. So when I am playing certain roles, when I play the role of say if I am a daughter, then I have certain duties pertaining to my parents. I have certain duties at home in terms of whatever is the specific role that I play. So if I am a teacher, then I have certain duties which I have towards my students, and so to the institution under which I am functioning, right? So like this, there are specific dharmas or specific duties which come under Vishesha Dharma. Now, when we say that our culture, the Hinduism or this religion that we call as Sanatana Dharma, that which has been there eternally. What is its focus? Its focus is not just God. Its focus is holding together an individual's integrity, bringing about that integrity in such a way that individual not only grows, that individual not only benefits, but in the process of going through this Sanatana Dharma or adhering to the Sanatana Dharma, this individual then further progresses towards that ultimate goal of life, which is moksha. So it is not just a goal, it is basically the process which is going to make me go towards that goal of life, right? So if we then look at life in general, what will people say? People say that all this is fine, but I want to live, I don't want to live a poor person's life, because when you say that there is dharma, when you say that there is sadhana, there is swadhyaya and all, it looks like I have to stay in an ashram and go about a focused way of living in that way. So then again we have to revisit this Hindu Dharma, this Sanatana Dharma, and we have to realize that what is being told to us by the scriptures is not to go away from the rigors of life or the joys of life, but rather in and through all of these, in and through all of the circumstances that we go through, one has to grow and go towards that ultimate abode which is moksha, which is that Brahma or attainment of my own true nature. Right? So it is never, as is said even in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna from time and each time Bhagavan is going on asserting to Arjuna, no Arjuna, you don't have to go away from your essential dharma of being a Kshatriya, you have to fight the war. Here only in this Kurukshetra you should be able to attain that highest attainment also. How? By adhering to what is inherently your dharma is. So therefore, Sanatana Dharma is never telling us to go away from prosperity, but while we are attaining that prosperity, in and through the way of bringing in that discipline into our lives, in and through that adhering to that Vishesha Dharma, we can also attain much more prosperity through Abhyudaya also and through Nishreyasa also. By being selfless also in our activities, we are able to bring about that Abhyudaya or that Shreyas in our life. So how will this come about? And do you think, because there are some who say that okay, but I feel I can just live, a life of going into sannyas. So as Bhagavan says, that there is the path of Karma Yoga and there is path of Karma Sannyasa. Right now, we are where? We are in the path of this Karma Yoga. And why this Karma Yoga? Because we are not yet prepared to embrace that mode of living where we say that no, I am not going to do any duties. I will just sit and I will just do japa. I will, do only study and that's it. No, wherever we are, Bhagavan says from there itself we can take that final leap. And how do we do this therefore? So therefore Bhagavan says that, one is that we have to understand that when we are in this world, there is the karma and its effects. Karma and its effects, so what do you mean by that? So there are the actions that we are doing. In this world, we can't live without any actions, or we cannot live without performing any actions. So wherever we are, we have our desires. We have certain things that we wish to attain. There are certain goals and achievements that we want to achieve here in this life. And when we say that there are these goals and these achievements, then it also comes with, the tag of I want to be famous, I want to have riches, I want to have a certain status in my life. So all this is there. All these are there, and with these ambitions come the expectations. And even if I say that no, I am a very simple person, I don't have expectations, yet what is going to happen? When we engage in any action, the result is sure to come. We can't say that I will do something and I will not have a result of it. Right? So Bhagavan says, fine, you are going to engage in action, then you should know the result is going to come. So why don't you do that action in a more educated way, or in a way which is smarter, so that you are free of the results. How can I be free of the results? Because you are saying that once you perform the action, the result is sure to be there. So normally what is the course of this? When we perform an action, there is bound to be the likes and dislikes. There is bound to be some result that I am expecting or some result which I do not want. Sometimes I am not sure of what is my expectation or what is it that I want to gain as a result, but I am very sure that I don't want certain factors to come about as a result. Means I know that these things I don't like and these things I don't want in my life. So fine. At least if we are sure of what we don't like, then what is going to come? Then I will, that baggage of, oh, this I don't want, will still be looming around my mind. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.